So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening in some roundabout way.
Good day.
Fantastic. So, I can see we've got a few people in the chat. Our normal regulars, fantastic. We've got Chris, Bart, Corey, Brad, sorry, not Brett.
We have an echo.
BB Guitars, isn't it? I'm so bad with names.
Yeah, Brad. Yep, it is Brad.
Yeah, fantastic. And of course, we've got Ray with us today. And Ray's literally doing his lunch break with us, which is great. So what I might do as well is, like last time we had a guest on, I'll
hold on a second, guys. Do we have an echo on the stream?
Not here.
No.
Yeah, you're gonna want to mute your copy because there's going to be a delay.
Yeah. So I on the YouTube channel, there's always a delay, but you should be able to see the chat on our. There might be a way to see the chat on the side screen of our browser, Ray. So anyway, I can see the chat. So what I will do is I'll keep an eye on the chat. And as the conversation goes, if anyone on the chat wants to chip in, put something in the chat, I can pin it on the screen. We can ask it to Ray or all of us. We've already had an observation that Scott hit the library nice and early. How has everyone's week been? Guitar building wise?
Yeah, mine's been all right. I got last weekend the two that I'm working on, all the construction's now done. So that was a good milestone to get through. I just had when I had to finished off all the carving, the jack hole and all those kind of things. So that's all done, and also the two slots for the lever switches. So that was sort of something I'd put off because I've used the lever switches before, but only with pick guards. I'd never done it in a fancy top. So to get that section of the top thin enough, and then to work out how to cut a really small slot along the side was. I basically just put it off until it was the last possible job. And it's like, oh man, I've got to do it. So, but yeah, worked out a way to do that nice and easily just with the Dremel and. It was like a 1.6 mil sort of inlay bit that I had. So, yeah, that worked really well. So I'm pleased that's all done. And then hopefully this week coming I can get some boring sanding done and a bit of finish on.
Yeah, I saw your photo maybe on Instagram. Oh, no, it was on your... Or was it on
Instagram
your video
photo, yeah.
Yeah, it looked very smart. I always do them with drilling lots of little holes and then trying to chisel it through.
That was my first plan, and then when I checked, the size little files that I had, they would be, I thought, I won't get the line straight, and then by the time you file it out, that slot's going to get a lot wider. So, it was really...
Yours looked very neat.
I was pretty pleased and relieved, I must say, yeah.
After 8 years of building, every time I hear or say jackhole, I giggle like Beavis and Bonehead. Beavis and Bonehead. Beavis and Bonehead. Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Might have just changed to Butthead Guitars. Copyright pending.
And Ray, you've just got back home from a week away, so I presume you don't have any time to build when you're travelling. Oh, Ray, you've gone mute somehow.
How about now?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was having a little echo earlier. Thanks, Scott, for pointing out that my YouTube was on, playing in the background.
I have like a 15-second delay, so it's, yeah.
Well, those that kind of know me from my channel, last year, right at the end of the Great Guitar Build-Off, I had to move. I finished up, sold my house, moved to a new house, and then moved again. I am now in Stockholm, Sweden. This is, it's crazy. My life has been nuts. So I have a small apartment, and I'm figuring out what I can do and can't do here. And I'm actually in touch with a couple guys who build guitars here in Stockholm. And, going to hook up with them sometime and check out their shop. they probably have a better shop than I had back home. So I'll be building, but there's a lot I can do. And even, you know, with the Yerkes Cup coming up and everything, I've got enough stuff here that I think I could build. So maybe sometimes having limitations is a challenge to your creativity. But I did. You guys remember this one for last year. So I managed to get a gloss coat on the Fire Dragon and finish it up in a way that I like. I was very, I was annoyed that I had to go with just an oil coat at the end. I ran out of time, but enjoying doing a little bit of work on that. But got some ideas how I can keep building even from here.
Awesome.
I think you're totally right. Limitations often spark creativity in some way.
Yeah.
It's a good. Sometimes it's good to even set yourself a limitation on how you're going to do it. Like the whole idea of the Yerkes Cup with just using your leftover pieces.
Yeah, exactly. Use what you got.
Use what you got. Yeah.
Problem is, a lot of us have some really sexy stuff laying around the shop. So,
Well, not everyone's got Tina. I mean, just saying.
Related, but
So actually, this might be a good point to jump in, Ray. Talking about travelling and not being able to work and stuff, and we were just before we went live, we were talking about designing, and you were talking about the thing you've been doing with a friend with AI. Maybe you could tell us a bit about that, because I found it so interesting.
Yeah, this is really funny. I got a friend back home. I won't name anyone, but yeah, he and I went out to dinner when I was back in Illinois, and he's one of these guys that's just a little bit into anything, you know, in everything. And doesn't have a technical degree, but he's more technical than I am. So he's got CNC, this, laser, that, you know, every little toy 3D printer you could want. And he goes, you know what? We should design a guitar together, right? And we should use AI to design the guitar. I'm like, AI to design a guitar? What are you talking about? I said, no. I've got this AI bot on my Discord server, and you can check this out. I hate to say it, but it's really dang cool. And of course, now I have a Discord server and an AI bot to help. And this is just generating images. This is the Mid-Journey is the bot. But what you do is you kind of feed it a prompt, and you guys know I'm prone to doing things with dragon themes or whatever. And I thought I'm going to do kind of a springtime dragon theme. And I started playing around with this. Let me share a PowerPoint. Hey, I'm at work. Share a PowerPoint. I'll do the entire screen.
I've not actually tried Mid-Journey myself. I don't know if Arran or Scott have. I tried a cheap free one, and every time I entered guitar, I got something that vaguely resembled a guitar.
So you guys see this now?
I've never really played around with it so far.
yeah, I haven't.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
I can see it.
Okay. I mean, this is crazy. This was just the first, hey, make me a dragon guitar with a string theme. And it kicks out these images in about, 30 seconds. Okay. Then what you can do is you select one of the 4 images to enhance, but just start off with, every one of those is a pretty thing. I said, no, not acoustic. Let's do electric. Dragon inlay and electric guitar. This is what it kicks out. Okay. Well, not practical. I love where it places the strap locks.
Oh yeah.
I love where it places the strap locks. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. Yep, the one on the side.
Yeah, don't think of it too literally. This is
Everything else looking right.
And I said, okay, well,
Maybe.
let's enhance
Strange
one of
funny.
those. I took the bottom right and enhanced that, and it came up with 4 variants of that. Which then I went on, continued creating variants And well, this is getting away from my spring guitar idea. And I said, okay, let's go back to green and do these. And yeah, like I said, we got to make sure whoever wins the Great Guitar Build-Off has actually built something and hasn't just created a 3D rendering off of AI.
Or an AI sound demo as well. We'll have to watch out for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
created videos.
yeah. I didn't actually create my own videos. I didn't actually play the guitar. I just told the AI that she would be playing the guitar. Yeah. This is, you know, and I'm actually considering this, and not because number one, these are beautiful, but this is just an inspiration. If someone gave you a drawing of a guitar, you still got to build it. But what he was suggesting is we continue to the next level into the CAD, using some AI on the CAD to do the design and combine, you know, I guess my design skills with some AI help. And he was going to machine all the inlays for me and send them my way, and I'll do the assembly. And I'm like, well, that's one thing I can't do in my apartment without pissing off my neighbors. So
Well, shit.
maybe I will do this.
All you need is a little glue then.
What's that?
So all you need is a little glue then.
Yeah, just a little glue and a little bit of sanding, you know, like a kit guitar.
So-
Now, we'll see how far we can take this. I'm going to stop sharing.
I mean, that kind of looks like
And I was wondering the same story. You mentioned your friend suggesting taking it into CAD. Does it? Is that something you can do with the AI? Take the images and it would generate a 3D model based on a 2D image.
The answer is yeah, I think you can, or there are at least some assistance there.
Yeah.
But if you start with an image, you can start and place an image in the background, then trace your guiding curves in CAD over the image, and then start that and extrude, chamfer, build from there. I've been working parametric CAD for 25 years or so. My biggest problem with CAD systems is that anything I would want to pay for here is well below what I'm used to. Like, what do you mean I can't do that?
Yeah.
But
I wish I was experienced with CAD.
I don't know, it's just
I've been in software development for near 30 years, and there are many things like CAD that I've never had any exposure to, which I regret.
most of the time it's just absolute boredom. But you know, actually, I haven't been a true CAD jockey in probably 15 years.
Yeah, well, you got exposure, you got the basics.
Yeah.
When you're showing us images like that and talking about your knowledge of CAD and your friend that's keen, I'm super excited that you do it, because I'd love to see what happens when someone goes through that process.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I've been thinking about YouTube videos recently. There's a lot of videos out there with basically just, and it's us, guys running their bandsaw. And, you know, I love that stuff and I watch it, but I'm thinking that's really just us. Like watching how each other's techniques are and everything. And I'm thinking that, yeah, if you say, this is how you take an image, how you create an image, and this is how you might translate it into CAD, I think that might actually have a broader audience.
You definitely need to, you definitely need to do that, Ray. I think you'd have at least 3 viewers watching very keenly.
Yeah, I wonder if sort of 5 years down the line, you haven't really made it. There's no skill in doing it, even though none of us can do it apart from you, Ray. So there's loads of skill.
Well, that's it just gets easier. They just get better user interface and it will become easier. But I think we all agree that there's something aesthetic to building it with your hands and actually shaping and sanding. And go ahead, Scott.
I'm guessing you won't want to talk about that, or Skynet will turn off your breathing chip.
He doesn't have to. There's no actual cash here in Stockholm. They just shut down my bank accounts and I'll start. I've never seen a kroner. Not sure it actually exists.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, there's no cash.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love learning getting into new situations and getting into new cultures. I actually love it here. People have been very nice. Where I work has been good. But it's sometimes you get out in the middle of nowhere and you realize on a Saturday night with nothing to do, I am on the other side of the world from anyone I know. Which actually, given who's on this call right now, I can't be more than a quarter of the way away from someone I know. Because you guys got the globe covered, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I just mentioned that in the chat. That there's 4 time zones here.
Yeah.
Someone commented about this, about watching these shows. That one thing they liked was the fact that it's people all around the world and joining in the chat as well, and just really sort of showcasing how friendly and how close and supportive everyone is, which I think is brilliant because it was only 2 years ago, I think, or was it 3 years ago, the Great Guitar Build-Off started, and that's when I first sort of became aware of all of this.
Yeah, that was right at the beginning of the lockdown. My story was in March of 20. I was scheduled to go to Crimson to learn how to build a guitar at their little guitar workshop for a week, and turned out that wasn't going to happen. So I ended up taking some credit out of Crimson's shop instead and buying a kit and some of their good equipment. But by the way, everything I've ever got from Crimson has been top notch. And started going, well, I might as well do a build along. And I think I was one of the first 2 or 3 that were doing a build along. I said, well, I don't know how to do a YouTube channel. Let's go figure it out.
I definitely remember you from when I first started looking.
So, yeah, me too. I remember Ray being one of the first I started watching for build alongs.
Yep, and E.R. Webster.